Hello and welcome to this video on how to research any topic with AI. I'm sure everyone knows that feeling when you need to research something but you do not know where to start. Well, what if I told you that the method I'm about to share completely transformed how I create content? In fact, using this method, I've cut the research time in half while actually improving the quality of my work. So let's get started. Starting off with what you are going to be learning in this video. First will be the two prompts that I will be using that will unlock AI's research potential. Second thing you'll be learning is the note-taking and the organization of the information. And lastly, you will be learning the fact-checking. Here's the thing about AI research that nobody tells you. It's not about asking one perfect question. Instead, you want to build your knowledge layer by layer. So here's the first prompt that I will be using, and I will demonstrate the two prompts inside Claude so you can see the response. I'm going to choose a topic. First, I gave it a role. You're an expert topic researcher. And then I gave it a task, explain the topic as if you're teaching it to a beginner, include the most important concept. And then at the end of that, I put, then answer these follow-up questions. What are the main debates or disagreements about the topic? And what are the three common misconceptions about the topic? Here is the second prompt I'm going to be using as a follow-up prompt, and it goes as follows. As a follow-up to the previous information, answer the following questions. What are the most recent developments in the topic as of your last update? Who are the leading experts or authorities on the topic? And what resources would you recommend for learning more about the topic? All right, in a second, I'm going to switch over to Claude so I can show you a demonstration. All right, here I'm at Claude. I'm going to take the prompt from here. By the way, I'm going to leave these prompts linked in a document that will be available for download in the description. So the topic that I'm going to choose is cooking. So we can see what it will give you. Explain cooking as if you're teaching it to a beginner. Include the most important concepts. So we'll wait for it to do its thing. As you can see, it gave you a ton of information. It actually even says what cooking is. It basically just gives you a definition of what cooking is. And with these follow-up questions, you can see right here, what are the main debates or disagreements? Here is the answer to that. These are the misconceptions that it gives you, first, second, and third. And right here are the main debates. Traditional versus modern cooking methods have become a significant debate in the culinary world. So as you can see here, this is a pretty good response to this. So then what you would do is you would get the other prompt that I'm going to have right here linked again, and you'll be able to get this prompt. And then you would take it as a follow-up and you would paste it in. And then you just wait for the response. As you can see right here, it gives you a pretty good follow-up. What are the most recent developments? So because Claude 3.5 Sonnet is last updated in 2024, that's the newest information that it'll be able to give you on any given topic, basically. Right here, who are the leading experts? Gives you the person's names. And for the following question, what resources would you recommend for learning more about cooking? It gives you right here all of the different resources. Right here, the series, it gives you a website, even talks about video content that you could watch, gives you some trade publications that you could read, and it even gives you an approach to combine all the resources. And then it even asks you a follow-up at the end. Would you like me to elaborate on any specific aspect? Which you could do that too. You could just go in and type in another question to get it to elaborate on any of these answers. By the way, with this research method, it starts out broad, and then you would just use follow-up questions to get more and more information as you narrow it down. This could be used for any topic or any niche, basically, if you wanted to do some type of research on something that you're looking for a lot of information on. And there's a lot more to it actually. So I will go over some more of that later on in some of the later sections of the video. So when it comes to organizing the information and taking notes, first thing you want to do is to copy the key points and the relevant information that you plan to use. The second thing you want to do is to highlight the most important parts of the information. And then thirdly, you want to write a brief summary in your own words, kind of like as an overview of all the information that you've gathered. And real quick, I want to mention some of the note-taking apps that I've used. Google Docs is the most basic one, which is really easy to use, just like Microsoft Word. Trello is another one that has a free plan. Trello is kind of like a Kanban board, but you can also use it like to organize your information, take notes and everything. Joplin is another note-taking app. That's one that you have to install directly to your device. I have it on my desktop PC. And another really popular one is Notion. So I will leave all the links to these in these slides, so you'll be able to go to them, or you can just search them out on your own. So here I am on Notion, and this is a page that I created to take notes for the topic of cooking as an example. So what I did here was I created pages. So the way you would create a page, if this was blank, you would just come here, you click page, and then it would open the page, and then you would just, name it here. So what you would do is you would go back to the information that you got from Claude or from whatever AI tool that you use to do the research of the information. And this right here would be the key points, I would say, that you could post onto that page. So then you would just copy them and then just paste them here. And you would do the same thing with any of the other information that you got. So like say if you wanted to get some important information, you would just go back to it and you would say, you know, the misconceptions, you could possibly add that in, little bits and pieces of that. Or you could say the important information would be like understanding the ingredients, or fundamental concept is flavor development. You could copy this into there, as an example. So you would just do this, come in here, and then you would just paste it. And then you would do the same thing, just you can hit enter and just keep adding what you want. You can also add different icons, and you could add like a cover picture to each page if you wanted to. Um, so then this would be the summary. If you wrote, like a paragraph or however long you wanted it to be, like as a topic summary, you would just paste it in here. And by the way, taking notes is pretty much similar on the other apps that I showed, except for like Google Docs, because then it would be like in a document form. But with the other note-taking apps, it'd be pretty similar. I mean, a lot of them use Markdown, so you can, and they have a lot of functionality. You could add in, links, pictures, different things like that. So just thought I would mention that really quickly. So when it comes to fact checking, you can use a three-step verification method, or you can even, you can add more steps. You can come up with your own method. What I use is this method here. The first step is a source prompting. So I'm going to show you in a minute here. I put in this prompt with the follow-up questions to try to get it to tell me the sources of the information that it actually got. And the second step that I use is academic verification. Some people don't want to go this far. It's fine, but if you wanted to, you can use like Google Scholar or JSTOR, and you would search for the key terms and the authors. You would search for like recent papers that were written about it. Also, you would check the citations, and you would also look for peer reviews, like peer reviewed journals on the subject. And the third step you could use is by cross-referencing. You could go to factcheck.org, you could use Google's fact check tool, and you would look for industry specific databases also of the information that you're searching through. You could also try verifying through official organizations, and you could also compare different expert opinions, which you could possibly find on YouTube or through other searches just on Google by itself. And these are some red flags, like statistical red flags. Like you could see too precise numbers, like numbers that are really, really precise, like 87.34% instead of 87%. Perfect round numbers without any context, statistics without date ranges, dramatic claims without clear methodology. Source red flags would be like circular references, single source for major claims, no primary sources listed, and also outdated information presented as current information. And some of the content red flags would be like extraordinary claims without extraordinary evidence, contradictions without established research, unclear or missing methodologies, and also biased and promotional language. So here are some pro tips. You could create a verification log template for yourself. You could also build a list of trusted sources by topic. You could also set up Google Scholar alerts for key topics. And you could also use fact-checking browser extensions. So here I am at Claude. Just to show you real quick, I put in this prompt here to try to get sources of the information. And I also put in the claim about traditional versus modern cooking methods has become a significant debate in the culinary world. I just did that as a example. You would put in that claim and you would put this prompt here: provide specific academic sources, research papers, or official documentation for the claim that, and then I put in the claim here and the follow-up questions here. What are the primary sources for this information? Are there any contradicting viewpoints or studies? And it gave me this information here. So it actually says right here, I need to be transparent about the academic sources for this claim when I stated the traditional versus modern cooking methods has become a significant debate in the culinary world. So it restated the claim that I put in, and it was saying right here, I mean, it was making a generalized observation. So it's basically telling you right here where it's getting its information from. It actually gives you academic literature examples right here. And if you scroll down, you can see right here, it even tells you for the most accurate and current research on this topic, I recommend, and it gives you what you would do, the peer-reviewed journals. You could examine anthropological journals. And then it even asks you, do you want to explore any specific aspect of the research in more detail? So as you can see here, when you put in the prompt, even though I'm supposed to put number 2 here, not number 1, it still understands the follow-up questions. So you could use this as a starting point to try to get the sources of the information that it's giving you and also any claim that it's making. So hopefully this gives whoever's watching this video some kind of idea at least of how this prompting works and the kind of answers that it can give you. All right, just a quick recap of what we covered in this video. First thing we covered was the prompts that unlock AI's research potential. That's the 2 prompts that you could use for any AI tool if you want to start out with a broad topic, and then you would just narrow it down from there. Second thing we covered was the note-taking and info organization. And the final thing that we covered was the fact-checking. All right, I just want to give a quick thank you for watching. If you want to check out my website, you can. I have some free AI tools you could use, and I also have my blog there. And the resources that I mentioned will be linked in the description. So thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.